one of the cases, I think what's frequently coming to me at this current stage is people with feelings of loneliness. This I've noticed mostly with young adults, primarily because it's difficult for them to find partners or friends who they can communicate and associate with and find a support system with. Why it's difficult for them to find that sort of comfort system is one, a lot of people move out of their home city to learn more in different cities and countries across the world, and also, get better jobs in different metros. They don't have a support system in that city, so they have to start from scratch, which is very different from when our parents perhaps had to do it because they went out, made friends, communicate with people face to face. For us, we tend to spend more than half our time on the internet, on social media, communicating with our old friends or posting pictures or strengthening online relationships. We don't invest as much time face to face. As a result, when we end our day or we need a 3 a.m. friend, we don't have them. We're struggling with that, and that's increasing the feelings of loneliness. That's why apps like Tinder, Hinge, Coffee and Bagel exist, and I'm very grateful that these apps exist because it's creating a platform for individuals to meet others, make friends, date, interact, and then form relationships. But we cannot forget the need for these apps exist because of our increased feelings of loneliness, our difficulty socializing face to face.
Would you encourage somebody who needs to seek help from a professional?
I would definitely encourage. I think having somebody who can speak to for everyone is the most important thing. There are some things I may not be comfortable sharing with my partner, with my parents, or with my family, and having a third person who is no way connected to my life just listen to me and then help me view things from a third perspective creates a tremendous amount of clarity within myself. So I do encourage people to do that. What I would say to encourage them is that this is a safe place which is non-judgmental, with complete positive unconditional regard. And these are the 3 things every therapist tries to communicate in every therapy session, and that's what I hope most clients leave feeling.
Okay. So how do you think social media as well as the changes in lifestyle affect mental health?
Social media has increased our feelings of loneliness. It's definitely affected people's perception of their body image. This is great Netflix documentary currently come out called American Meme, and it talks about how these influencers have changed and shaped the way people are perceiving themselves and how they're interacting with the world, creating these false notions of what is perceived to be healthy, which is not. This is a beautiful statement one of them made that I have 63 million followers, whatever, and I can lose them like this, and I do not know what will happen to my sense of self. Which is very true. All of us are just looking for that like or that retweet or that repost, and that's not healthy because that's all based on false false backing, and that need for gratification, constant gratification, instant gratification has affected the way we even work, understand, communicate with things. It's very hard to have a person go through an entire book. They want to summarize life hack articles and they're done with 2 minutes, think, okay, fine, I've got it. There are people who will just watch those 5-minute TED videos and say, okay, I'm done with it, I move on with my life. Very few are willing to go into the depths of things and understand what is needed to contribute to a project or to a relationship. This moving into our relationships is that partners seldom communicate with each other. At the end of the day, both of them are on their bed, on their devices, not talking to each other. 15% of the world's intellect is consumed by Netflix. So if you look at all this data, it's bound to affect our mental health. It's bound to affect our emotional health because we do not know what emotions are. There's a significant amount of emotional blunting where people are unable to identify emotions communicated by others face to face. Kids nowadays are noted to have a poor sense of self-esteem or self-concept because they are internet addicts, or research even says that decision-making ability is now compromised because of increased consumption of internet or any sort of social media. There's tremendous drawbacks of it. As easy as it's making our life, there also are a lot of side effects which need to be addressed with the social media.
Okay. And anything you want to talk about the lifestyle changes that have been coming up?
I think everybody is now increasing, unhealthy in the proper sense. We're sitting back, we're not exercising. There was this thumb syndrome which came about where people were like suffering in terms of not being able to move their thumbs effectively. There's definitely increased number of eye strain happening. There's sleep disturbance. There is negative self-esteem, unhealthy body images, to name a few amongst many more.
So, how are the teenagers and children, or basically this age group, affected by any mental health issues?
Because of their lack of communicating face to face because of social media, one is that they don't have very strong healthy relationships with their peers. It's more sort of a competition about who has the best selfie or the most number of followers. Again, false sense of self, false sort of sense of self-esteem, leading to early symptoms of depression and anxiety, because the need to be portrayed in a particular way, the need to have that many likes is constant, and the stress is real for them. Also, cyberbullying is now still very serious. Schools and colleges and any institutions struggle to keep these things in place because anybody can create a fake account and start cyberbullying, and that tremendously and significantly affects children and teenagers. Also, the need to form relationships or indulge in activities which may not be appropriate, age appropriate for them, is out there. Sort of catfishing, where people feel they're dating someone online and then when they meet them they realize, hey, the girl's a guy, and that's difficult for them to struggle with. So false relationships, false sense of security is also there.
And you did mention about cybercrime, so I just wanted to ask, haven't there been many new laws that have come up? Is that still not helpful?
So the laws are there, but it doesn't deter them from creating an account, posting what they want to post and then deleting it. And it does happen. Kids are struggling with it.
So how can parents identify that their kids are facing some kind of mental health issue?
If there's any withdrawal in terms of the ability to socialize with their friends or their peers, or even at home with their family, their eating habits change. Bulimia can be noted in children as young as 9 because of body image concerns which the media is portraying. Also, any self-harm, parents should look out if there are any cutting marks on their hands or in any other parts of their body. Because very often our kids, I'm aware that if they cut on their wrist, parents are easy and more likely to see. So now parents need to look for other areas like their stomach or their thighs to identify if there are any other cuts or scratches. Kids are more aware, so they find ways to move around it. But if any change in behavior, even in the slightest bit, which is for more than a week, parents need to go and address it seriously. It could be eating, sleep, interaction with their peers, or even time on the cell phone, increase or decrease. Parents need to spend some time and communicate with the child to understand it. Parents should not have these preconceived notions where I didn't date when I was 14 years old, so my child cannot date. That's creating barriers of communication. You need to first say, okay, fine, if you like a boy, let's talk about it. They cannot have a blanket yes or a no for anything. We have to create a space of open communication where we understand their opinions and encourage them to find a healthy sense of self.
So there are any methods of self-care that the ones who are suffering can use for themselves?
The most effective one is exercise. Spending 45 minutes every day doing some form of physical exercise is the most important thing. It helps with any sort of mental health concern, according to me. 2 is maintaining a sense of gratitude. My favorite exercise is to do 3 good things about your day or about yourself each and every single day. It helps us focus on what's working in my life and what's working for me. 3rd is that a routine. Having a fixed routine helps create a sense of belonging, something to look forward to, and eases any kind of stress we may be experiencing within ourselves. And 4th is journaling. Spending at least 10 or 15 minutes every day journaling whatever comes to your mind, your first thoughts, first impressions, create a sense of clarity. Also helps direct us in terms of what we have done wrong, areas we need to improve on, and how to be a better human being, a more productive human being. These are my 4 go-to exercises.
Lastly, I would want to ask, what are treatment options do you think are available for any mental health issues?
Well, it depends on what mental health concern the person has. If there's something very serious like schizophrenia, bipolar, they need to consult a psychiatrist as well. And two, there is some form of psychotherapy. It could be counselling, which I think is extremely beneficial. However, if people do not enjoy counselling, there are other forms of therapy that can be done. Drama therapy is an option, art therapy is an option. Any sort of expressive therapy which encourages catharsis, which is that emotional release, helps individuals with it.
Okay. And what would you comment about the new counseling therapies that come up online and claim to have some help, provide some helping hand to the clients?
So I would honestly choose counseling therapies which have been research proved and research backed. However, I do believe it depends on each individual, the rapport they form with their therapist or their counselor at that point of time. Rapport building is the most important part of it because that directly helps an individual feel better, get better, and direct the form of therapy. I'm not opposed to any new form of therapy available because I think it's only with research and evolution can we identify more effective means for doing things.
Yeah, I had a good time with talking with Dr. Priyanka, and thanks a lot for giving us so much information on mental health, and hope our viewers did learn something new.
Thank you.